We all need a break from politics every now and then, hence this show today. Kashif Khan is my guest. He is the president and CEO of the DNA company. He joins me now because I heard about him, heard about the company, and I said, what is the DNA company? Welcome. Tell us what the DNA company is.
So we look at the human genome in terms of chronic disease, which is the gap that needed to be filled. You sent me an article earlier about genetic conditions, which is what the genetic industry thought genetics was meant to solve. Sickle cell syndrome, rare forms of autism, direct correlation. Meanwhile, 90% of the healthcare spend is on chronic disease. So we're saying, what can genome inform about that? That's where we play.
Look, when you say chronic disease, you mean cancer? You mean heart?
Cancer, heart disease, diabetes. You're not born with any of this stuff, right? These are things that, on the average, you're 50 years old, you start to get something, and then you're in treatment, and then you're 60 years old and you have two of them, and then you're treating both of them, and you eventually spend the last 10, 15 years of your life sick.
So what can your company do? What is it trying to do?
So what we're saying is, instead of waiting to see what comes, Alzheimer's, cancer, heart disease, we can, through the genome, predict what's coming and tell you what environment, nutrition, lifestyle loads would cause you to get those things.
What changes you need to bring about in order to make sure that, or as true as possible, you don't get that disease.
Yeah, and how we know this is
true.
true.
So is this experimental or is it in use now?
It's in use now. We work with clinics throughout North America in terms of research and actual clinical application. And we've reversed disease in people. We've made diabetics non-diabetics. We've taken cholesterolemia patients off Lipitor.
So why isn't it, just like the miracle drug? Why aren't you, on the front page every day and say, we're curing disease?
So as of June, we were a research company. So we've been learning how to interpret the genome better, which is really what we do, interpretation, right?
Right.
We've now commercially, like I said, worked with a bunch of clinics. By this time next year, I do believe we'll be a household name in terms of this is a better way to practice medicine, personalized medicine.
And in order for you to look at someone's DNA, what is it? Blood test?
It's a saliva test. You spit in a tube. It's good for 6 months. You can store it on the shelf. It goes to a lab. We sequence it. That's the easy part. A lot of companies know how to sequence. What does this gene mean? What does this gene mean?
Right.
How do you then mirror that to the way the body works, right? Why do I get diabetes? Why do I get cholesterol? That interpretation, that's the gap that we filled.
So that gap, though, there must be tens of thousands of points of information, and maybe hundreds of thousands.
So you would think so, and that's where we started. So we started studying people. We purposely set ourselves up in Toronto because we have an ethnically diverse city. So we could look at different ages, different ethnicities. Then we understood that what we thought was an infinite number of combinations for various conditions led us to 4, 5, or 6 possible outcomes. And now instead of having one thing that's one size fits all, hopefully this works for you, to an infinite number, it's somewhere in between.
Thank you very much. The DNA company, you're going to be hearing about it, hopefully improve everybody's health.
Thank you.
3 minutes. A number of you have noticed and commented that we've had some audio problems recently. True, and thank you for listening. It's not through the fault of the team or the crew here. Technology just has some problems every now and then, and we apologize for that audio problem. On the other hand, it does point something out, that we need money to keep on going and to get better equipment. So whether it's PayPal or check or a piggy bank or e-transfer, if you like the show, please accept my apologies for some of those audio problems and loosen up your wallet and keep us on the air. Thank you.